Allow me to correct one issue that has been raised twice on the issue of Nancy Baraza. Nancy Baraza was alleged to have pinched the nose of someone. It was never confirmed. The CCTV footage did not reveal it, and she was found with no guilt on that point. So as a woman leader, I want to correct that. Nancy Baraza served this country faithfully. So let us correct the Hansard. Thank you.
Go on.
Honorable Speaker, I can proceed. Thanks, Gladys.
Go on.
Yes, I am. Okay. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. And again, before I proceed to support this motion, allow me to clarify just one issue. I have been accused by the Deputy President of bias, indicating that I cannot preside over these impeachment proceedings because I am biased. I want to confirm that when Okay, thank you. I want to confirm that I'm not biased at all. When I made the statements that I did make, I made them as Member of Parliament for Uasin Gishu County and not as a Deputy Speaker sitting on the Speaker's chair. You can only accuse me of bias if I make those statements from the Speaker's chair. I am first a Member of Parliament before I am Deputy Speaker. If the law contemplated a situation where I am gagged as Deputy Speaker, I would have been expected then by that law to resign like the substantive Speaker does in that case. And therefore now I want to proceed to go on to support the motion, speaking as an ordinary member of Uasin Gishu County and not as Deputy Speaker. I have a few points to point out. The Deputy President has been engaged in various conducts that meet the threshold for impeachment. One, on numerous occasions, he has insisted that Kenya is a company of shares, and this is contrary to the Constitution, Article 10, and also our national values. I also want to bring attention of the House that he has contravened his oath of allegiance. When he took his oath of allegiance, he says, in full realization of the high calling, I assume as Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, I swear and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Kenya. The oath of allegiance does not mention Murima, it does not mention Mount Kenya. He bears allegiance to the Republic of Kenya, not to his wife and not to his sons. So he has gone against his oath of allegiance. I also want to go on to refer to the press conference that the Deputy President held in Mombasa on the 25th of June, 2024. In that particular press statement, he distanced himself from the Finance Bill 2024. As a member of cabinet, in his position as Deputy President, he is collectively responsible for all the decisions that are made in cabinet, and therefore, in distancing himself, he violated Article 153 of the Constitution. The Finance Bill, as we know, is the overarching legislative document that underpins the revenue-raising measures for the executive in order to achieve its programs. If the Deputy President did not agree with the decision of Cabinet on the Finance Bill, he ought to have held his peace and his tongue or resigned as a member of the Cabinet. There is no two ways about it. And furthermore, by the mere fact of holding a presser at a time when the country was in crisis, when the President has addressed the nation, he went on to have his own one-man show of a presser. That is the greatest definition of gross misconduct. It is pure insubordination. No one can do that. It is unthinkable for a principal assistant to contradict the principal. If you want to contradict the principal, you resign your position and go and contradict them from outside. Thirdly, the Deputy President also distanced himself from the activities of the Nairobi Rivers Commission and claims that the activities were undertaken contrary to the law. The work of the commission was again endorsed by cabinet. The government followed laid down laws regarding eviction and resettlement of members of the public. The deputy president knows that this has been a crisis in this country and in contravention of the laws by having people living by the riparian zone. And in this year, people had actually died. And in order to prevent further deaths in future, cabinet in its wisdom decided to relocate the members of the public. And again, he again failed to take collective responsibility with cabinet, did not resign, but went on to countermand the decisions that had been made in cabinet. Furthermore, he has taken an oath of secrecy and therefore cannot publicly divulge what was decided in cabinet. Again, there he has contravened the law. 4, during the press conference in Mombasa on the 25th of June 2024, the deputy president accused the Director General of NIS of providing faulty intelligence and firing some senior officers. As a state officer, and most importantly, as a member of the National Security Council, under Article 240, the members of the National Security Council, at Clause 2B, the deputy president is a member. He then cannot discuss intelligence briefs that come to his knowledge during the proceedings of the National Security Council. Again, with that, he has gone against the Official Secrets Act and his oath of secrecy. And even if he had any reservations, he has opportunity as a member of the National Security Council to raise it at the Security Council proceedings and even to raise it to the president in person, but not to come as if he's an ordinary citizen who is in the opposition and then speak about it in public. That is wrong. In fact, it is juvenile. It reveals him as a person who is unhinged and cannot control their tongue. 5, during the rally in Githurai, Nairobi, which was presided over by the deputy president, with some members of parliament present, he was involved in leading chants that said, Ruto must go. Ruto is a one-term president. He never denounced those statements. What that amounts to is that he is guilty of treason and other allied offenses. That is the Penal Code, Section 40. And I will read it out, just that there is no doubt. It says that any person owing allegiance to the Republic of Kenya or else of Kenya, if they compass, imagine, invent, devise any deeds with the intention of the death, the maiming, the wounding, the imprisonment, or restraint of the president is guilty of treason. So Rigathi Gachagua is guilty of treason. And it also amounts to gross misconduct. So the deputy president cannot therefore expect to remain in his office as deputy president when his party to efforts to remove the president, to undermine the president, and to campaign against the president. His tenure as a principal assistant is not tenable by any interpretation or meaning. And 6, during his appearance in church in Meru, the deputy president insinuated that if he is removed, the tribes of Kenya who are native to the Mount Kenya area will revolt and be violent. Again, that is treason and other allied offenses. And he also goes against the National Cohesion and Integration Commission Act with his utterances that relates to ethnic profiling. And even as late as yesterday, if I had any doubt in my mind that Gladys Shollei must be impeached and removed from office as Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. He made it very, very clear yesterday. Yesterday, he went on to disclose details of the Kenya Kwanza pre-election pact. This is contrary to non-disclosure agreements that were signed by parties. And without any due regard to these non-disclosure clauses, and without seeking consensus from other principals who are party to those pacts, he went on to sing like a parrot on national television. That is unbecoming behavior of a person who holds an office as high as that of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And lastly, I want to point out that all the violations that I have set out in support of this motion were brought upon and the evidence said by the Deputy President himself. This is not from anywhere. It's from his own very utterances. Practically, this is what the Deputy President has done. He has dosed paraffin on himself and he has lit the match all by himself without the help of anybody else. And so he has only himself to blame. I support this motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Adan Kainan.